This Halloween season finds 4 of tonight's bowlers looking to awaken the ghosts of tournaments past and win the treat of another title, while the 5th will try to trick them all and conjure up her 4th title of the year. Don't be scared, no bats or goblins, just the PWBA finals at the Greater Harrisburg Open next. Tonight's opener features the holder of 3 major titles, Anne-Marie Duggan, making her 9th appearance of 2000, Michelle Feldman, and the return of Michelle Mullen. The winner there will face 5-time titleist Dede Davidson. And the victor of that match will challenge our top seed going for career title number 22, Leanne Barrette. The PWBA welcomes you inside ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania for the finals of the Greater Harrisburg Open. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt along with my partner Lisa Wagner. Thanks for tuning in on this Halloween Eve. This time of year normally tells us that the Bowler of the Year race is heating up, and Lisa, Michelle Feldman had a little extra motivation this week.
Well, that's right. Michelle Feldman last week saw 2 of her strongest contenders for Bowler of the Year make the show. Carolyn Doran Ballard won the event, and Wendy McPherson appeared in her 14th telecast of the season. Now, Michelle felt that if she was to have a chance at Bowler of the Year, it's time to step things up just a bit.
Well, another player trying to step it up is Leanne Barrette. This is only the 3rd year out of 14 that she hasn't won a title. Lisa, what are her chances tonight?
Well, actually, I really do like her chances, and it totally fits the season, and it actually is just a little bit spooky. Now, before the start of this swing, more than 8 weeks ago, a friend of hers, Jack Bird, wrote on a PWBA tour schedule that Leanne's 22nd title would come in Mechanicsburg. How eerie is that?
Ooh, we'll see how eerie it is in about an hour. Right now, let's get to the opener. It'll be Mullen, Feldman, and Duggan. They're slapping 5s around. We're ready for that opening match, and it looks like Michelle Mullen will start the match. It's been a while for this lady. We said the return of Michelle Mullen. And Lisa, she has not been bowling much, only her 2nd event this year.
That's right. Her other tournament that she bowled was Myrtle Beach. She did cash there, finished 28th. But is a great coach in the game of bowling, so always involved in the bowling game.
And that keeps her mentally sharp. So we have a pair of Michelles. Michelle Feldman now stepping up. She's currently ranked number 3 on tour. And you said it, she wants that Bowler of the Year.
Definitely one of the strongest contenders for that. I mean, she's right up there in the race, has 3 titles this year, as does Carolyn Doran Ballard.
Michelle Mullen covers up the spare. Anne-Marie Duggan doing some juggling there with the bowling balls as she steps up in the first frame. Anne-Marie Duggan is wearing a mic tonight, so hopefully we'll hear some comments out of her. That held line, leaving a 4-pin. She's telling us how quiet it is in here. Goes along with the atmosphere.
Well, that's right. You know, all week you bowl 42 games and a little bit of noise going on. And you get on the show and, you know, hey, all of a sudden you can hear your steps. You can hear your feet hit the floor. So it's a little bit of a different atmosphere. You really do have to rein all of that mental aspect right in there and get it all working for you.
Big shot for Michelle Mullen. We're almost seeing the ball almost like a fade back, almost a very tight angle to the pocket.
And like you said, even on this girl right here, on Michelle Feldman, you're not going to see her hook the whole lane. We have seen her do that before, but hey, it just didn't work here. You do have to have some hand in it. However, you can't be too lazy with the release. You got to have some some catch there and a little bit of hit. You can't be lazy.
Well, and Anne-Marie Duggan was telling us how she had to look at the lanes a little bit differently this week in order to play him. And she's playing him pretty well. The Samstown Hotel, Gambling Hall and Bowling Center is home to the next and final stop of the PWBA year, the Samstown Invitational. The tournament runs Saturday, November 4th through the 11th with the Pro-Ams on the 4th. For tournament and Pro-Am information, contact Mike Kaufman at 702-456-7777. Michelle Feldman in the lead by 10 pins over both Michelle Mullen and Anne-Marie Duggan. That was a light hit. 7-pin going down pretty late on that shot. Lisa, she took a long look at that rack before she stepped up. Maybe a little question in her mind as to the pin placement.
Well, you know, hey, could have mattered right there, too.
Sure could have. She was in the lead by 10, and if you have that question, the difficult thing on air is that there's only 2 re-racks per game allowed. You'd have to have a special exception after that. So you're a little bit careful about when you use them.
Well, that's right, because, you know, hey, if things come down, you know, you're going to need a double in the 8th and 9th, 10th frame, something like that. You want to be able to have that choice to re-rack if you need to.
So Anne-Marie Duggan and Michelle Mullen with a double of their own. Spare for Michelle Feldman. 1-pin match through 3 frames. Michelle Mullen was telling us that she finally took the things she needed out of coaching instead of just tearing her game apart. Because I would imagine as a coach, a full-time coach, that you would tend to look at all the things wrong in your game, and it could be difficult to compete.
Well, that's right. Michelle said that the best thing for her to do this week was to read the ball reaction and not to have an absolute perfect game every time, because, you know, with not competing every week against the caliber of bowlers that we have out here every week, it may not happen. So she's going to read ball reaction and do the best she can. This is Michelle shot the last frame here in the 4th frame. Got a good break just by leaving the 3-pin.
Staying clean, and Michelle Feldman getting ready to step up. Well, she has a nice shot into the pocket. Michelle Feldman had skipped practice this week, and it was kind of funny. She said twice when she's done that, she's led the first 3 rounds. Not the practice session I'm talking about, not practice in general, but sometimes you're going with an open mind that way.
Right, but, you know, she also said that she doesn't recommend it all the time, and I wouldn't always recommend it either. You have to be bowling well in that position to miss practice session and still score.
Well, we'll be back with more of the Greater Harrisburg Open through 4 frames. Anne-Marie Duggan has the lead. We're back at the Greater Harrisburg Open. Anne-Marie Duggan in the lead by 1 pin. Couple strikes and a spare for Anne-Marie. Michelle Feldman threw a 3-bagger to get close. Anne-Marie anticipating her 8th frame, leading by just that 1 pin, but working on a strike. Michelle Mullen, we talked about her coaching. She actually has business with Don Moyer called PBI, Professional Bowling Instruction. And they go around doing a lot of clinics. They also have pro shops in Woodridge and Illinois and Baltimore, Maryland. So if you want some instruction, give them a call. Michelle Feldman, even a 10-pin in the 8th frame. Back to Michelle Mullen. Give them a call it's a toll-free number. It's 888-343-BOWL. So you can reach them with just a quick phone call. Anne-Marie Duggan now stepping up in the 8th. She can take that lead to 12 right now. Not going to be. It will go to 2 pins. both ladies spare here, and Michelle Feldman converts her spare. Anne-Marie Duggan has been very active in a new company out there that's a sponsor of ours, bowlingballmall.com. She's been heavily involved in getting that site up and running and trying to get the pros involved so they can do chat sessions and things like that. Very happy with that. Max score for Michelle Mullen, 222. That would be if she strikes out in the 9th and 10th.
And Jan, I think she's going to need all of that. Well,
it's a good shot.
It was a great shot.
Max score for Michelle Feldman, 247. 2-pin match right now between Feldman and Duggan.
Well, that was a big one.
That count's going to hurt her. It'll make it a 6-pin match with that 6 count.
Michelle just got right up and through this. Didn't take much time at all, and you didn't see her stay down at the foul line at all. Look at the result. Left the bucket at 2-4-5-8, and has a difficult spare. You see her shaking her head just a little bit. Ooh, nearly chopped it.
Hey. She covered it, didn't chop it this time. Max score for Anne-Marie Duggan, 249.
That count's pretty important right now.
Yeah, 6-pin lead for her right now. Come on, carry. She asked and she received. Anne-Marie Duggan, as we mentioned, in the lead by 6 as we enter the 10th frame. Michelle Mullen trying to finish it off best she could do would be 202. It won't be enough. She has to be happy being out here, that Michelle Mullen, coming out for only her 2nd tournament this year and making the show. It's quite a feat, actually.
Yeah, actually it is. You know, with the talent out here these days, I mean, it's actually pretty amazing. But, you know, when you're in the bowling game, she's in the bowling game all the time with coaching and all of the work that she does. So, great player, great athlete.
Michelle Mullen will finish it off. Meanwhile, Michelle Feldman needing to double here to force Anne-Marie Duggan to get a strike in the 10th frame. This is a big shot right here for Michelle Feldman. I heard someone in the crowd yell, "Get all of it." I think she almost always does.
Always. You know, I mean, as you saw, you know, the 10-pin just slapping right out. There's just no doubt. And you can see her eyes move. You know, it's pretty interesting. Watch her eyes move as she's lining up for the shot. You know, she's getting a picture of how she wants that ball to enter the pocket and how she wants it to go down the lane. And right now she has forced Anne-Marie to just about match her. Not going to need all of that.
Well, Anne-Marie's working on a strike, so she'll only need the first strike in the 10th frame. Michelle Feldman shot 233. Must strike right here.
Oh, come on.
Not going to be enough.
Well, I think that she thought it wasn't too bad. Yeah, she said, you know, hey, you know, threw it pretty good there.
Well,
but not enough.
Anne-Marie won't advance. I know she wanted to say hi to her stepkids, Patrick and Kelly. She's very proud of them in their first year in college. And there's the shot she wanted for the first shot in the 10th. But Michelle Feldman will advance. First, when we return, we'll tell you about a new source of information for WIBC members. ever here. Final score of match 1, Michelle Feldman 233 to Mullen's 201 and Duggan's 229. Michelle Feldman will face Dede Davidson in the semifinal match right after this. Welcome back to ABC West Lanes. We're ready for the semifinal match of the Greater Harrisburg Open. It'll be Michelle Feldman and Dede Davidson. Michelle Feldman will start the match. Dede Davidson made her get up there first. And she looks like she did last match, very strong.
Very hard and straight for Michelle Feldman. Not hooking the whole lane like we've seen her do before.
Dede Davidson taking a big breath before she steps up, relaxing herself.
It's been a while since Dede has won. Nope. It's been since 1998 at the St. Clair Classic, so it's been a little more than 2 years.
And not her best year either. You saw that ranked 27th. Tough year for Dede.
Well, that's right. She says it's about time to win again, and you know, to win again, you just can't do that. You can't cross over. I think she was a little bit lost in practice. When she did get her warm-up shots before this game, she was a little bit lost.
Needs to pick up the baby split. Nice conversion for Dede Davidson. You made
this response that WIBC has had from that. It is so good to see.
Yes, and we thank all of you that have phoned in to order them already. Please continue to do so. That's a better shot for Dede Davidson. Now, Lisa, only left-hander on the lane, sometimes an advantage, sometimes a disadvantage.
Well, that's right. You know, Dede has to work on breaking the lanes down just a little bit or getting a little bit of carry down. You know, the right-handers have the luxury of seeing a little bit of play on there and getting used to them. Dede's coming on fresh. She's the only one playing over there.
Michelle coming a little light on this shot.
You know, not getting all the hand in it that she's normally used to getting. And she chopped this quite a few times during the week. In the first match, you know, she had to make the bucket to stay in that match, and she did. So that's why she said 2. You know, she missed so many this week, so she's going, hey, 2 for the night.
Well, she's clean so far, and that's what you want to do in the championship finals. Match all even through 2 frames. Michelle follows up with a strike. She looks real good today. There were a lot of strikes all week, a lot of high games. This is very ironic, Lisa. Look at the players that have the high games for the week. They're all in the telecast except Shanna Ray, snuck in that 300 there, but everyone else, all the highlighted people in the telecast. What a difference. That's why they're here.
That's right. And Shanna Ray did make the top 24. So she was right up there in the money.
Well, Lisa, you said that Dede had a desire to win. She told us about it.
Well, it's been a long time once again, and I'm just getting sick and tired of finishing second. I work really hard out here week in, week out, and I have kept a positive attitude for as long as I have, and it's just about time I need to win this week. This week my match play performance obviously was 20 pins higher than my qualifying. I did a few different things with some different equipment and was winning my matches and just was eager to get out here and do it again.
Well, she's doing it again so far. She leads by 10 pins. As you mentioned, Lisa, there's her last title, 1998.
Hit it!
Now in the lead by 20 pins. However, only the semifinal match. So first things first, one of these players needs to get through this match, and Michelle Feldman now stepping up, working on a strike of her own. Light again on lane 34. Now that's 3 times on that lane.
Well, I think we may be looking at just a little bit too much speed for Michelle. She's going to have to back off just a little bit. You know, and what we don't want to see out of her right now is that disgusted look. And she does have a tendency sometimes to do that. And you're going to get that defeatist attitude. And, boy, I'll tell you, when you're in a Bowler of the Year race, can't have that happen.
Well, sorry, Women's International Bowling Congress. She's not tossing you aside. She's going to put it back on, I promise, a little bit later in this match. Big sponsors of ours, and all of these ladies have to be members of the Women's International Bowling Congress in order to compete on tour.
Well, that's right. You know, she was wearing it on that right arm, and she's so strong and so powerful, that right arm coming up just flew right off.
10 pin, and that was her good lane.
Weak 10 at that.
Well, you talked about speed for Michelle Feldman. Normally not an issue with a shorter pattern, but this week, how long is the oil, Lisa?
44 feet down the lane, so it's a good bit down there.
Well, we're at ABC Lanes West, where Dede Davidson is in the lead. We'll be back in just a moment. A little bit of the sights we get to see as we travel around the country. This is the Susquehanna River, and I sure would like to be out there right now. But I love being here. We're here in the middle of the semifinal match. Dede Davidson in the lead by 21 pins, working on a strike while we were away. Both players spared and struck, so the lead remained the same. Maybe I'll take that boat ride tomorrow night.
Beautiful here.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful. And the proprietors here at the center could not have been nicer.
They are awesome. That's for sure. Dede Davidson striking to take her lead to 31. Lisa Bishop looks to capture another PWBA victory this year as she defends her title in the Hammer Players Championship from the home of the PWBA, Rockford, Illinois. Catch all the action from the Cherry Bowl next Monday at 8 p.m. on ESPN2. Your home to the best in women's professional bowling. Dede Davidson in the lead by 31 pins. Working on 2 strikes, she can make it 41 with another strike here. And she wasn't kidding. She wants to win.
Oh, boy. All right, out of trouble.
Well, I think that told the whole story right there. Out of trouble is a pretty good description. A little bit right of her target here. You could definitely see it down the lane. Just never, ever had a chance. Going right through the heart of the pins. Left to 4-7. Going to switch to a spare ball like just about every player out here does. Going to go right at it.
Oh,
Heart failure.
you better hold your head, Dede.
Who was popping
Poor
back
pin.
there?
You know, hey, good thing she
Heard it
polished
pop.
that ball a few
Popped it
times. A little bit of polish on it, I think, saved her from an open.
Michelle Feldman now in the 8th, trailing by 29. That takes it to 19, and we talked about that Bowler of the Year race. Titles are one of the categories everyone looks at. Here's where we stand. As you mentioned, Lisa, 2 players with 3 titles already this year.
That's right, and Carolyn won the tournament last week, and look at that, 4 players with 2 titles. So, boy, what a race we have this year.
19 pin deficit for Michelle Feldman. She steps up in the 9th. She can take it down to 9 with that strike.
Well, hey, you know, she got a little bit more hand in it here. She backed off on the speed just a bit, got a little bit more of the hand, a little bit more of what, you know, we're used to seeing Michelle do. She's so good at the bottom of the swing, at that feel, and getting so much rotation on the ball. She's so good at that, and she needed it right there.
Well, Dede Davidson needs to set up a strike here, only leading by 9, trying to make her sponsors proud. Dana wanted to do it in Florida. They have been sponsored for a long time. Dede needs to strike here as she did last night. Look at those scores, averaging 246 for the final 8 games of match play.
And the 6th game, another 300. Had 2 of them this week.
That's the first time in her career that she's had 2 in a single event.
246 average. That's huge.
Hit it.
And that was just as huge as the 246 average last night. Needed that to take control of this match again. She will be able to step up and shut out Michelle Feldman.
Good solid game. Look at that. Dede trusted that one. Just no doubt about it. That's the definite reaction you want to see. You see all 10 go in the pit? That's perfect.
Max score 247. She'll need 2 strikes right here. I believe 2 strikes and 2 pins to shut out Michelle Feldman.
Looks good.
And that's one of them.
That was a repeat. I think the left lane has hooked just a tad more. Players do have to get the ball down the lane a little bit firmer, I guess. You know, that would be a good point to make. A little bit firmer on the left lane than the right lane. But you don't want to be too firm that you're going to throw it right through the break point. And that's a couple times what we have seen.
Nothing Michelle Feldman can do but wait as Dede Davidson needs this strike.
Oh, looks good. Oh, just a goal. All right.
Ooh. Good shot. Didn't happen.
Well, it looked pretty good going down the lane. Just coming up a little bit late into the pocket. 4-pin laying down in the channel.
Well, she'll want to be careful and shoot this spare because the pin counts could mean something. Finishes it off with a 236. Michelle Feldman's best score would be 238, which means she needs a double and 9 pins to win this match. I'll bet she thought she was out of it a moment ago.
Yeah, she probably did. So, you know, hey, rethink this. And what you have to go into this 10th frame thinking is you can't win this match unless you get the first one. So it's 1 strike at a time.
Didn't take much time. She's still looking at it, but it's not going down.
She made a pretty good shot at this. Watch the 6-pin. Just not enough power to get up there. Kind of probably rolled up just a little bit late.
Well, she tried to stare it down, but it didn't work, so Dede Davidson survives the semifinal match. We'll be right back with a recap of the first 2 matches. So far tonight in match 1, Michelle Feldman threw 3 strikes in the 10th to make Mullen and Duggan disappear like ghosts, 233 to 201 and 229. Match 2 was a battle at Cary. Dede Davidson won that battle to send Feldman off to trick-or-treat early, 236 to 217. Coming up next, Dede Davidson takes on Leanne Barrette in pursuit of the first Greater Harrisburg Open title. Welcome back to ABC West Lanes on this Halloween Eve. There's the beautiful one-of-a-kind trophy. Doesn't come with the pumpkins, but that's okay. A wonderful crystal trophy. We're ready for the championship match of the Greater Harrisburg Open. Leanne Barrette and Dede Davidson. Leanne Barrette was the top seed. Her selection, Lisa, and she chose to go first.
Well, that's right. She's going to start on the left lane. That means she's going to finish on the right. And I have a feeling that she was the one that wanted to pick the lane she wanted to finish it on and not make Dede finish on the left, which she will. I think it was a personal choice.
Great opening shot for Leanne Barrette. Talked about Dede Davidson having 2 300s this week. That's phenomenal. The record, by the way, is 4. That was Marianne DeRupo. Did it in Las Vegas. Won't be a 300 for Dede Davidson tonight. Leanne Barrette with the only chance left, and it is still, by the way, worth $50,000 if anyone would shoot it, presented by PWBA.com.
Great opening shot for Dede. Just a little bit light in the pocket, even a weak 7.
Covers it up. Well, there is a new line. Frame number 2, Dede Davidson on a spare. Has the strikes going again. Leanne Barrette participated in some action that went on early this week. On Saturday, there was a shootout. A lot of fun things going on. A celebrity match that paired some righties and some lefties. Bob Hafer of the Patriot News was here, and he helped bowl in that. Chris Clement, a junior bowler, 14 years old. He shot 656 to get into that event scratch. As Leanne leaves the 4-7, there was a $1,000 winner-take-all, which included Anne-Marie Duggan, Leanne Barrette, Tiffany Stanbro, and Liz Johnson, along with a couple of amateurs, Dave Kohler and Roger Horst. And Dave gave Anne-Marie a run for her money, but Anne-Marie won that event. And then there was a shootout with a bunch of strikes. A lot of fun, great time.
That's right. All the ladies got a little bit of money in that event and did a lot of promoting for the sport of bowling. We're going to look at Leanne's game. Now, she does take a lot of time. You know, she's a very deliberate player. Watch her steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's absolutely nothing hurried there, but watch the end. She just gets all of it. Very deep knee bend. Very deep. And her hand, and she has great hand and wrist action at the foul line.
That's the result when you do it just right. Jennifer Swanson this week. You saw her last week. She's back on track, right up there in contention. Stacy Ryder doing stats for her. She matches her best finish of the year.
And then 12, Kim Terrell. She had actually the 7th highest average, but had a signer in the back that said, beat me in match play. She only won 6 of 24. And in 15th, Carolyn Doran Ballard, just inducted into the Fort Worth Women's Bowling Association Hall of Fame for superior performance. That is her second
Carolyn.
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
congratulations. Michelle Frank cashed in 6 of 8 this fall, and Shanna Ray picked up the big 4 this week in addition to shooting that 300.
And in 22nd, Allison Allmang. She bowled for the famous Wichita State University bowling team a few years ago. Liz Johnson, 24th.
Double for Dede Davidson. Puts her in the lead by 10 pins through 3 frames. Dede took last week off. Actually didn't bowl the event. She was frustrated mentally. Decided to take off and stay with some friends. Lisa Farwell, who's actually a bowler, has bowled a few tour stops. She had a lot of fun. She did bowl, but not competitively.
No,
well, not on tour.
Right. She said that it energized her for this week. And we have 2 majors coming up the last 2 weeks. And, you know, we all know how Dede performs in the majors. We see her in a lot of top 5 finishes in those events.
She strikes just like that in the majors. Leanne Barrette, speaking of majors, won her first one last year when she won the WIBC Queens event. First one out of 21 titles. Up high, leaving the 3-6. Struggling on lane 34.
We'll look at a view from Leanne from behind. Now watch her walk left. See that right foot and the left foot there taking a very big step left. But you know what? That's going to allow her to project the ball to the right. Now, unfortunately, on this shot in the 4th frame, it didn't go far enough to the right. But by walking left, it does allow her to get that projection that she needs toward her target, and that target is to the right.
Well, and she's been struggling with the longer patterns, and she told Lisa how she overcame it this week.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. I do struggle a little on the longer patterns. I don't bowl as well as I would like. I look for a earlier reaction. I don't like to see my ball go so far down the lane, but then I lose my back end. So I decided to drill our stronger back end balls, which were the Vortex 1 and the Vortex 2, with some strong drill patterns, so that I could play the back part of the lane instead of the front part of the lane. And it worked much better this week. I had a good feel all week, so hopefully it'll continue tonight.
Well, leaving a 10-pin so far, not continuing, but she is staying clean. Half a game left. And she needs to try to get that prediction to come true here, so we can see how much Halloween has to play in this outcome of this event.
That's right.
Well, we'll step aside for a moment, but please stay with us to see who will claim victory. Dede Davidson in the lead. We're in the 7th frame here at ABC West Lanes of the Greater Harrisburg Open. It's the championship match. Dede Davidson in the lead by 31 pins. While we were away, both players threw 2 strikes. But Dede Davidson now on 5 strikes as she throws the shot in the 7th. She said looks good. It did look good. And result, not as good as the last 5.
Well, she has given a little bit of an opening to Leanne Barrette. We're going to see this ball definitely hits the pocket. Does look good, as Dede herself said. But she's going to need to convert this. This is at the end of 5 strikes, so staying clean. She still has a commanding lead.
Okay, covers it up, no problem. I want to take a minute to thank the Harrisburg Women's Bowling Association. As you see, Dede in the lead now by 30. They were out all week helping out, doing different things for the tour and the center, and we're getting a large volunteer base out here with the Women's International Bowling Congress and the local associations. Leanne Barrette concentrating as she's working on a double and can get right back in this match.
Max score for Dede, 269 at this point. That is if she strikes out in the 8th, 9th, and 10th frames.
Hit it. All right.
Well, we'll lessen that just a little bit.
It's in the pocket, though, and leaving makeable spares.
A little bit of light of day for Leanne. She has just a double through 7 frames. So, hey, she gets up in the 8th and 9th, and we got ourselves a ball game here.
Dede taking her time, being cautious on the spare. Can't afford to give anything away. Covers it up, and Leanne Barrette will step up in the 8th frame, trailing by 29 pins. Max score of 249. She can take it to 19 here. Didn't trip the 4-pin. At least it looked like she fell off that shot just a little bit at the foul line.
Yeah, I think possibly she may have gotten a little bit quick in her first couple of frames, and that threw her timing off and definitely left of her target. Fortunately, it backed up enough, late down the lane to just leave a 4-pin. That could have been a lot worse. And it could have been a lot worse there, but it wasn't. Look at that release point. See her hand come straight up. You see her fingers are not in a bent position, and that is the game of the year of 2000. It works so good. She lets all the balls do the work for her.
She trails by 30, and how much pressure do you think is on this lady? Doesn't want to let her friend Jack Bird down. Plus, she feels it's her last shot at winning this year. She told us that.
Well, yeah, she said, admittedly she has not performed well in Rockford or Samstown, and that's where we go the last 2 weeks. You never know, though, and Jack Bird did predict that title number 22 would be here. Playing about left of the second arrow, about 22nd board on that one. A little bit more speed.
Covers a spare up, but she is in a pretty big hole right now as Dede Davidson steps up in the 9th frame, leading by 33 pins. Best Leanne Barrette could shoot would be 215. Dede taking a little bit of time here.
Well, at this point, you know, she knows that she has to mark in one of the last 2 frames, basically. You know,
she is going to, exactly, she's going to need one mark in either of the 2 frames.
So that's why she's taking a little bit of time right now. She's going to go up in the 9th and say, let's get it out of the way now. Ooh.
Wow. She's going to have to make quite a shot to get it out of the way right now.
Watch this. This is just dead right off of her hand. Didn't have a chance. Just about got the 10 out.
The 4-7-10. Taking 2 of them. She needed to take 2. That gives her 204 in the 9th frame.
Gotta have a mark.
She will need to mark, or Leanne Barrette will have a chance.
Can hear Dede taking a very deep breath at this point. The whole tournament coming down to 1 shot.
Must mark.
Sit on it. Finally.
Sit on it.
And she said finally. And it has been a while for this, and finally is the key word there. She hasn't won since 1998.
Sit on it. Finally.
Well, and prior to that 1998 victory, it was a long dry spell. It was 1993 before that, so really only 1 title in 8 years. Dede Davidson claims the first PWBA bragging rights at ABC West Lanes. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. There is your champion of the Greater Harrisburg Open, Dede Davidson. Final score 234 to 214. In with the beautiful trophy is Jeff Kohler, General Manager here at ABC West Lanes.
Dede, on behalf of the Bauer family and all of the staff and management at ABC Lanes, congratulations. Here's your championship trophy.
Thank you so much.
And in with the check you're waiting for is Gary Bauer, the president here at ABC Lanes.
On behalf of my family and all the employees of ABC Lanes Incorporated, it's my pleasure to present you a check for $11,000. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I would also like to thank everybody at ABC West, Gary Bauer and Jeff Kohler, for putting out an outstanding job this week, and I hope we do come back again. And thank you for my friends coming out to visit me this week. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Dede Davidson as she wins the inaugural Greater Harrisburg Open. Be sure to join us again next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern when Lisa Bishop hopes to have a chance to defend the Hammer Players Championship title at PWBA's home, the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt, asking you to keep an extra eye open for the ghosts and goblins on the road. And kids, have fun, but be smart. So long from Mechanicsburg, PA. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.